Greetings and bienvenue, Midnight Crew. Thank you for returning to this broadcast. And welcome to new viewers joining us for the first time. If you like a video, then feel free to subscribe.
Be in U.S. Army basic training. Blue phase field training exercise. Go into the woods for 3 days. Do training on patrols and combat during the day. Pull security at night. My battle buddy and I dig fighting positions, which is just a ditch in the ground about 10 inches deep, 6 feet long, and 2 feet wide. We are both side by side with other people about 15 feet away on both sides. 50% security, which means I sleep for an hour, pull security for an hour, etc. Pulling security is just laying there with your M4 staring into the darkness of the woods. Drill sergeants come and check if you're awake every now and again. 2 a.m. The alarm on my watch beeps me awake. My turn for security. Hey man, it's your turn to sleep. Nothing. You're never supposed to leave without your battle buddy, or at least telling him you're leaving. He must be asleep. Can't see. It's pitch black dark. Fumble around in the dirt. The poncho above me didn't block the rain well. Now I'm soaked. Find my flashlight. Shine it where my buddy is supposed to be, and he is gone. Oh shit. Everything is dead quiet, in very thick forest. I can't even see my hands in front of my face. Look around for my squad leader. His foxhole is right next door, so I walk over with my flashlight. Nobody there. Checking more, I can't find anyone. Walk over to the platoon guide's foxhole to tell him a lot of people are missing. He isn't there, and the radio used to talk to the other platoons is just sitting there. I pick up the radio, say my call sign along with a radio check. I hear, "Finally someone. Where did everyone go?" Sounds nervous. He didn't even bother to talk properly on the radio. Say I don't know what's going on. He tells me he is 2nd Platoon's platoon guide. Tell him I'll come to him. Carry the radio. He guides me the way over. Can't see the shine of my flashlight since it's a weak red lens flashlight. After a few minutes, he stops responding. About 15 minutes later, I find his foxhole. I can tell it was his because the radio is just on its side with the cord extended, like he just dropped it. See the ammo point and entrance to our area of operation. Why is nobody guarding it? Walk uphill to the porta potties. Nobody there. Suddenly hear machine gun fire and M4s shooting over by my platoon. Only blanks, which is rather common over the night. Run down and still can't find anybody. No shells lying around the machine gun nest. In fact, the M240B is gone completely. Of course, nobody is there either. No evidence that anyone was firing at all. The wind picks up. The trees shaking and the rain gets harder. Suddenly feel like I'm being watched. Why did 189 people just disappear? Go back to my foxhole. Decide fuck it and fall asleep. 5 a.m. My battle buddy shakes me. Hey Anon, wake up. Don't forget to shave. There's going to be an inspection. Platoon guide comes up. There it is. Why the fuck do you have the radio? I was worried when I couldn't find it. My battle buddy asked me why I didn't wake him up to pull security. What?
Did you tell anyone about that shit?
I asked around the next day if we were supposed to do anything last night, and they said we all were just supposed to pull 50% security like normal. I asked my squad leader how often he checked on the squad. He said he caught people sleeping and brought up how we talked briefly around 1 a.m. Then he went back to sleep. Squad leaders were exempt from pulling security, so he just slept until wake up. Most people said they dozed off during their security shift from 1 to 4 a.m., except for the tough guys who were obviously lying about being awake all night. But I checked every fighting position in my platoon, and nobody was there. Never been more freaked out in my life. Just the pitch black woods, along with the shitty conditions of being soaked, cold, and any part of my body that was dry was covered in dirt.
There's this place we call the Devil People. Old Nam vet friend and his cousin found the place. It's on Maple Road in South Bend, Indiana, I think. Not sure which county exactly. Country road. It's just swamp and woods on one side and a gate that leads to a small clearing with chopped wood and an exit to a cornfield. If it's empty, if there's corn. There's no way out but through the corn or back through the gate. We go out to Devil People one night with flashlights and cameras. Normally nobody gets out there, but I wanted to get out and check shit out, so me and my friend did. Friend's little brother, Mom, and sister stayed in the vehicle. We're taking pictures and audio, asking questions. They're scared, so they won't shut the car off, or the headlights, so they pull forward so we can get better audio. We're checking stuff out at the gate. I decide to open it. It was just a bungee strap. We walk up to the truck and are talking to the rest of them for a second. Then we walk back to the gate. As we approach the gate, with the dim light my phone produced, I saw markings on the ground in front of the gate that were not there before. I call my friend over to bring his light over, and the markings were nothing we could make sense of. Also, they looked like they were burned into the ground rather than carved or spray painted. We looked at each other for a brief moment and ran to the truck. We actually later learned from my Nam vet friend that the gate is not where the majority of stuff happened. It was, in fact, in the woods on the other side of the street. Any entities we encountered at the gate were likely from the other side of the road coming to check us out.
I experienced something strange about 2 years ago. I've never told anyone, not even /x/, because it's so run-of-the-mill. But here we go. Be driving home from work around 11 p.m. Live half an hour from a smaller town. Be driving on the small country roads. Not another driver out here. As I drive, the radio starts to get weird, statusy, and sound disappears and comes back. Don't think more of it and shut it off. Suddenly I see a pinkish red long light darting in the sky, like it moves in a zigzag pattern. Imagine a red vertical line going zigzag, but staying vertical. It suddenly starts moving towards my car, and I almost shit myself thinking it's a meteorite. It slows down and isn't more than 100 feet away, flying along over my car. The red light starts to get brighter. The car begins to fill with a sickly red light. Suddenly, my car dies. Just completely shuts off. Panic. The red light gets more intense and intense until I can barely keep my eyes open as I hear this weird noise, similar to when fireworks fly off, but slower. That's the last I remember. Wake up in some field, get freaked out. Holy shit, what happened? I'm cold as shit and my mouth tastes like metal, trying to spot where the nearest road is to this cornfield. I think I know where I am. Walk towards my car, see it after walking for like 5 minutes. Get in, won't start at all. Battery's completely dead. Grab my cell phone. 3:44 a.m. Fug. Call the tow truck. Wait until he gets there. When I go out to meet him, he asks, "Dude, are you okay?" Well, why do you ask? Your gums are bleeding. I didn't even know. He helps me tow my car home. I get in, crash in my bed, and sleep for the next 28 hours.
B-19, 2 weeks ago. Chicagoland suburbs out to the southwest. If you're from the area, it's Willow Springs and Archer Avenue area. I live in Orland. Decide to go to bars out there, because why not? I look of age and they don't park. The whole area is basically forests, lakes, and cemeteries. Find a busy bar, drink a bit, and sober up to leave. Friends all split up except for me and another. Before we head home, we drive around just talking and shit. Want to see something freaky, Anon? Tells me there's a satanic house nearby. Go check it out. Arrive at the house. It's foggy. This isn't a house. It's a mansion. It's not very late. The rest of the neighborhood has a few lights on, but not this house. It's completely dark. Instant chills. Trying to get a better look, so I exit the car and get closer. hear faint knocking and voices. Lights turn on, and I see 3 silhouettes in the window. One has his hands up like some sort of autistic churchgoer. The lights show there are upside-down crosses on the front porch. They turn off the normal lights and immediately turn on some eerie red ones. Get in the car. Nope, out of there. Apparently lots of people like going to that house just for the spooks. Also, the property has alarms and motion sensors. Lots of people like to mess with them, apparently, which is why they probably knew we were there. I went back during the day just for the fuck of it, only to find out the only vehicles they have are white vans.
Not spooky, but definitely nopey. Be 13 at the time. Live with my family in a tiny cottage in the woods. 2 neighbors a few yards away in both directions. A deserted road connecting each house. Always feel unsettled if I walk around during nighttime. Feel like someone watches from outside windows. Weird shit just happens frequently. Like our dogs run into the woods and return with treats or toys we did not give them. Anyway, Mom sleeps on the ground floor living room because she feels safer with our dogs being there. She starts complaining about knocking during the nights. It wakes the dogs. Just 2 or 3 taps. Eventually get used to it, thinking it's a tree branch or something. One day I slept with her on the other couch. Wake up during the night, look outside and see some sort of light down by the vegetable patch. My face when I'm reminded there are badgers there and it must have been its eyes. Nearly pissed myself. Make tea, go back to see if it's still there. Must have calmed down because I see the same thing again, but this time recognizes it as a flashlight. Bolting it right there. Basically lock myself in the bathroom until sunrise, not even gonna wake my mom. We call the police the next day. They say there have been a few break-ins on the other side of the town. The robbers basically walked around the house while others were sleeping. The knocking was them trying to acclimate the dogs to noises. They fucking befriended them while in the woods. We set up a couple of strong lights and installed an alarm. Someone managed to steal our lawnmower, but nothing happened after that.
This happened to me a few months ago in the dark winter time. Driving back from Burger King with a friend at night, driving through the woods as always. All of a sudden there are deer or Bambis crossing the street. I stop to wait until they're gone. My friend woke up after I stopped to check what's going on. Suddenly my friend says, "Dude, is someone with a camera behind one of these trees?" I look and focus on the red dot behind the tree. Oh my fucking god, .gif. I saw one red dot in the dark area behind the trees. Start to focus to see what's going on. Turn my headlights off to see some more. After a few seconds in the dark, we suddenly notice that there are 2 dots right next to each other. My friend starts getting nervous. He starts to whisper that we should get out of here. Turn the headlights on. It's right in front of us. In this moment, we were silent, only hearing the engine and a creepy, dark noise. We're just staring at this thing walking by. It ran off at light speed into the woods. We were just sitting there in the car for 30 seconds, looking around and at ourselves. After realizing this was not just some creepy guy, I drove off like a maniac. We stayed up all night smoking cigarettes. This is the worst shit I've ever seen. I'm still getting goosebumps just thinking about this. My friend has since then been a different person and haunted by demons or ghosts or whatever.
Live on a farm with Papa and cousin Uri. Uri is 2 years older than me, but he is not as strong as I am. When he was small, he barely survived an accident involving machinery and sheep stock. Because of this, he lives in much pain. Hard to sleep during the winter months for Uri. One night, Papa does not come home from town. Uri and I begin to worry. Make a plan to walk up the roads and find Papa. Town is almost 23 kilometers away. No, we will need water and flashlights. Pack a bag of supplies and rations and head off into the chilly night. After much time and no sign of Papa, worry has become dread. No more Papa for me and Uri. Filled with sadness, see flickering lights in the distance. Not on the road, but at the edge of the woods, get closer and see Papa's truck wedged between trees and brush. It had slid off the road facing the way we came from. He had been on his way back home. Truck found, but no Papa. Worry fills Uri and me. The nearest phone is in town and of no help at night. Begin to scream for Papa, thinking he might hear me if nearby. Hear rustling in the trees. Uri and I shine our lights and watch. Rustling grows more intense. Our stares intensify as well. Whatever makes the noise and sound, we cannot see. Try to shine light in the area, but see nothing but bushes moving quickly and zigzagging much. Scared for Papa, but do not know what to do. Turn to older Uri to ask for advice. No Uri. He had started running back home from fear. Accept defeat and begin to pace home as well. Much darker and colder now. No Papa, and now no Uri. Confusion claims my soul. After much time passes, make it back to the farm as the sun rises. Uri had gone to sleep and I did not want to wake him. Go into Papa's room to look for him. Find his truck keys on the nightstand. Eh? The truck is now in the driveway, but no auto had passed me. Brain hurts. Many days later, find out Papa had gone hunting nearby. Uri accepts this explanation despite it making no sense. I secretly hate Uri.
Be me, 17, with my brother and 2 friends. We're out driving, looking for adventure, be it in the form of forest exploration or drugs. We live in DeKalb County, Georgia, end up in Brook Run Park. This park has abandoned buildings throughout it that used to be a state mental hospital. Cliché, I know. The main building is usually barred from the inside, but we see some other teenagers have managed to get in, so we follow. These guys have flashlights, and we now have a huge group of about 7 wandering around this dark, creepy, abandoned mental hospital. You can still see gurneys and beds in some rooms. We make it to the chapel when we start hearing this sound in the distance. Sounds like a man in pain screaming this noise. Friend, a stranger, and I immediately run towards the source of the sound because we thought someone might have been hurt. It leads us to the old boiler room. The sound seems to be coming from the walls. After about 7 seconds of this shit, I nope and run upstairs with my friend. The fearless stranger comes back and has taken a picture with his phone of a pile of dead rats he found down there. All the while, the noise is still blaring. He chalks it up to the pipes. It is just then that 3 ceiling panels come falling down, and we hear a woman scream. I am the only woman in there, so me and my friend run out and call for the other friend and brother still in there to come out. That building is now condemned.
6 months ago, lurking on 4chan, not really doing anything. In my room, my computer desk faces the window, and my door is behind me. My door is closed, but not completely shut. The door opens. Thinking it's just my cat, I turn around to greet him. My cat isn't there. Get a really unsettling feeling. Feels like something is standing in my room. I say, "Get out," in a calm voice. A shadow goes across my room, and in the reflection of my doorknob, I see something